biggest mistakes that aspiring or new entrepreneurs make and what to do about it. Let's get into it. The first thing that I would say aspiring new entrepreneurs make and what to do about it is they do not focus on their personal development. I'm telling you, they overlook it. They think they got it. They think that they have enough courage, stamina, they have enough consistency and discipline that it's just gonna take them to the promised land. And it just doesn't work like that. Typically, if you're coming from the 9-to-5 world, you're going to be entering into a land that is unknown when it comes to entrepreneurship. So let me explain what that means. So let's say you're working a corporate job and you get paid a salary. And so they have a list of things that you should be doing. If you do them, let's say you do about 50%, you get about 50%, okay? In a 2-week time frame where you're supposed to get a paycheck. The next 2-week time frame, you kind of pick up your game a little bit, you do about 70%. Then the next one, you pick it up even more, you do, it's end of the month, okay, it's 80%. Then you kind of fall off, you might drop back down, there's some personal stuff going on, so you're constantly on your phone, or you're just not feeling it, and you're on social media, it drops back down to 50%. Well, here's the thing, you probably are gonna get the same check. Unless you have a sales job or something like that, you're most likely gonna be getting the same exact check, the same exact salary. The problem with that in entrepreneurship is it doesn't work like that. If you give 30%, that's how much is gonna hit your account, 30% of what you'd like to hit. If you give 50%, guess what's gonna hit your account? 50% of the effort it's gonna give you, it's gonna match you, okay? It keeps that same energy, okay? As the people say, it's gonna keep that same energy. And the issue with that in entrepreneurship is you will get discouraged so quickly because you don't understand that entrepreneurship is an inside out game. It's an inside out job. And the more you cultivate who you are, the more money you make. And the more you hone in how to be more consistent because you're doing personal development books and courses and communities and coaches, the more it's going to generate more money. Because at the end of the day, all you did was make yourself, you just put LLC on top of your forehead. You made yourself a business. You're an entrepreneur. Most likely you don't have staff yet. You may have an assistant or two, but even then they're going to be a reflection of their leadership. So if you put LLC on your forehead, then guess what? You yourself are a business that you have to invest in. Your mind and the way you think is a business that you have to invest in. And the moment you have that revelation, then personal development and all that now are investments. They're not expenses. They're now mandatory and required and not optional. Because the moment you have that revelation, you realize every time I cultivate this, I can add commas to my bank account. It's an undefeated strategy that most entrepreneurs miss. So that is the number one thing. Okay, now let's keep going. The second thing is that y'all be doing, y'all gotta stop because y'all tripping. Y'all think all the money is yours. Okay, now I'm talking to myself about 9 years ago. Tiffany, new entrepreneur, no ma'am. Okay, all that money is not your money. The minute it hits the account, you're like, yes, I made $350. $350 are mine. And it does not work that way. You have to immediately, upon receiving money, allocate how much that needs to be going to marketing, how much needs to be going to paying for an assistant or something like that if I have it, how much needs to be going to expenses, software expenses, and all the things that you might not be thinking about, subscription-based expenses that are coming out of your account. And it's about to hit deducting out of your account on the 13th and it's the 10th. Okay, and you tell me something, let me transfer this over to my personal account. It's not all your money. Okay, it's not all your money. So calm your little self down and you need to start to write out a filtering process for your funds. Let me tell you the little tip, okay? Mike McCallowit's book is called Profit First. Top tier book on teaching you how to balance your money so that you don't take it all for yourself and you over leverage yourself and you end up having to transfer money back. It's a nightmare that nobody wants to deal with, all right? All the money is not yours. Which leads me to tip number 3 for the 5 biggest mistakes that aspiring and new entrepreneurs make and what to do about it. So tip number 3 is you have to, immediately, behind getting just a few dollars coming into your account, you have to allocate some for taxes and you need to make sure you secure yourself a bookkeeper. A bookkeeper, somebody that is proficient in taxes and making sure that at the end of the month you have a balance of how much came in and how much came out, and they can itemize that and they can see that this expense is truly a business expense and this software is truly for your business. Because Netflix, friend, Netflix should not be on your business account. All right. So you need a bookkeeper to come in because they're going to stay on you when they start to see, hey, I'm seeing Subway on here 3 times a week. What is this? Is this your personal? What is going on? Right? Because they're going to hold you accountable. They're going to keep your books clean because you have no idea where your business is going to take you. You have no idea what the plans that God has for your business. And what happens is we go into our business, and even though we want a big business, we treat it like a small business. We treat it like this little solopreneur opportunity that we're not expecting to go anywhere. And then what happens is when you treat it like that, that's how it acts. But if you come in and you have some decorum about yourself, some professionalism about yourself, some self-control about yourself. But what happens is we treat our business finances like we treat our personal finances, which is raggedy. And so we bring that mindset and all that into our business finances and have it looking raggedy. And we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. All right. And because with our personal development, we got our bookkeeper, and that person is going to help us. It's almost like an accountability partner. Any entrepreneur with a bookkeeper, it's like an accountability partner because they're going to come and check you and say, hey, what is this? Let's clean this up. If you have a good one. Okay. Let me just say that. All right. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4 out of the 5 biggest mistakes that aspiring and new entrepreneurs make and how to avoid it is this. You want to wear all the hats. You want to do all the things. And in the beginning, I think you kind of don't have a choice, and it's probably best. I think in the beginning, it is best for you to kind of get a feel for how each role in your business is going to work and what you need to do to perfect it. And even if you're not gifted in it, and sometimes it's going to feel like if you're right-handed, you're writing with your left hand, it might have that feeling about it, but it's still good that you kind of dig in there and kind of see what are the needs and what's the pushback and what are customers and clients complaining about in this process, and what do I need to make sure that I do so I don't get those complaints, right? So you kind of need to dig in there and just understand. It's like your baby. Understand how it works even if you're not the one doing it, right? So you do need to do that in the beginning, but you can't do that long term. But what happens is we're so emotionally attached to our business, and we're so emotionally attached to the results of our business that we don't want to let go. And we know that nobody is going to treat it like us. And if we bring somebody in, they're going to mishandle our baby. And I just don't have time for that. And I understand. I'm gonna give you another book recommendation. E-Myth by Michael Gerber. What I want you to do is I want you to get E-Myth by Michael Gerber. What it's gonna do is it's gonna help you write out all of the procedures in your business as if it's a franchise. Okay, stay with me. Okay, stay with me because I did this myself. What happened was I have a business. I have a real estate VA business that I started over a decade ago. I was bankrupt and financial disarray. I started this business and we quickly started making multiple 6 figures every single year. Well, in doing that, as you can imagine, okay, we had clients faster than we had the processes and systems and the staffing to support it. I had my very first hire. Her name was Tristan Skiles. So it was just her and I. And so we had all this business coming to us, but we really didn't have the organization to support this type of business. And so I ended up reading E-Myth, game changer for any small business. It's a game changer. And what we did is we did this exercise where we wrote out every role in our company, even though it was just Tristan and I. So we wrote out who's going to be the transaction coordinator manager, because that's the premier service for being a real estate VA. So who's going to be the transaction coordinator manager? Who's going to be the manager? Who's going to be who works under her? What does that person what does he or she do? And then how do they report to the manager? And how can the manager audit them so that we can make sure that the clients are happy and there's a level of excellency that we are guaranteeing for our clients? And what happens if they fail the audit? What is our remediation plan for that? And if they pass the audit, do we celebrate that in some type of way? Let's write out the procedures for that. And then how does that manager then report to the hierarchy, Tristan and I, which we're now the CEO and the COO? How do we make sure we have good communication with them? How do we take ideas and things that are coming up throughout the company and disseminate that to the entire company? What is the procedure for that? Should we have a marketing manager? Absolutely. So she'll have marketing assistants under her. How does she audit and how do they report? Okay. Administrative. Okay. How does that work? Listing coordinator. That's the assistants that are helping agents put the listing on the market. What are they going to do? And we literally wrote out every single procedure. Meanwhile, it was just Tristan and I. We wrote out every single audit. Meanwhile, it was just Tristan and I. We wrote out entire hierarchy where you see the graph, where you see the leaders at the top, and then you see everybody, you see where they fall under. Meanwhile, it was just Tristan and I. And 6 months to the day that we finalized this plan, all of those roles were filled. Do you hear me? All of those roles were filled because we got serious about treating our small business like a big business. And when we did that, we were standing on business, okay? That this is a company. This is not a little hustle. This is not a side hustle. This is a company, and we begin to operate like a company, and a company it was, okay? So you can wear all the hats in the beginning if you have to, but don't keep that as your long-term plan. As time goes on, start thinking about, man, it would be nice if I had somebody that would just do all of the marketing for the company, and it was a manager that just ran all of that, and that's all I had to worry about is that, and then write out what that would look like. What does that procedure look like? How are they going to report to you? How's it audited? How are you going to audit and not audit? How are you going to see marketing materials before they go out so you can approve it, right? Because it's still an extension of you, but not be overwhelmed by it. What does that look like? Are you going to be working 30 days in advance? How do you get that momentum and keep it? All of these have to be procedures that you write out. All right. So, and I know you say, I don't have time. You don't have time not to do it. Do you understand what I'm telling you? You don't have time not to do it. So remember, if you begin to write it out, this is where I tell people you need to prepare for what you're praying for. If you begin to write it out and structure it out, then the people will come. Okay? So stop being stubborn. I'm giving you good advice. Good coaching is counterintuitive to what you naturally want to do. I'm giving you good advice. I'm telling you what worked for me, and I'm telling you what works for others when I tell them to do it. Okay? So if you're wearing all the hats, start writing out your procedures now. Fifth thing that aspiring and new entrepreneurs make, and what to do about it. And that is, you have to have a system in which you get clients. Now watch me, follow me. So a lot of times, especially, even when I'm speaking with somebody, if I'm speaking with another entrepreneur, a new entrepreneur, they'll say things like, well, I got a speaking engagement coming up, or this person invited me to come speak to their people, and I know I can get about 5 clients from that. And round of applause, while that's amazing, that is one influx that's going to push into your business, and it's going to either fizzle out or settle, because you constantly have to have a constant flow. Think about a well. I'm talking about an old school well where you got to pump the well and then the water starts to flow. You have to have a constant flow of clients into your business every single day. There's something coming to you every single day. So in my sector, in the real estate VA sector, we may not have clients coming to us every single day, but we have invoices getting paid every single day, because the clients we have are constantly sending contracts and listings and marketing hours and administrative hours, right? So you have to figure out, how do I get that flow coming to me daily? You need daily direct deposits as an entrepreneur. If you really want to see yourself scale and be able to sustain yourself, you can't wait on these huge influxes, because those influxes, I don't care how grandiose they are, I don't care how amazing the opportunity, it will die out. You have to have a system in which you get clients constantly. So as you are doing your marketing ideas, that's the question that you have to answer yourself. The idea that I come up with, will this give me a one-time influx? And I'm not saying you can't do those. I'm saying that can't sustain a business, right? Is this one going to give me a one-time influx, or will this consistently feed clients into my business? You think about a well, and is it constantly pumping clients into my business? If not, what is the strategy that I can do, right? Some people use the funnel strategy, right? Which is you do one thing and then they're sucked into your stratosphere, and then you can continue to serve them, right? Some people do ads and can do marketing ads where they're doing it online. They're doing Instagram, Facebook, YouTube ads. Some people have a referral network, right? Where they're constantly meeting with those referral partners and giving them marketing strategies, and those leads are coming back to them. Some people have organic messaging and things that they're doing on social media, like the platform that I'm talking to you on, and then going on Instagram and having viral reels and different things like that brings people into their business. But what is your system? And do you say, I want to do all of that? Okay. But there has to be a foundational system that constantly brings them in, and all the other stuff is just added on. A foundational, it's your current that is always working. It's the thing that you don't disrupt. It's the thing that you're not constantly testing new things out. Baby. Once you perfect the current, okay, all the other stuff can be extra. Once you perfect the current, you just let that thing be as beautiful as it is. Okay. And that is the key. All right, to having consistent clients into your business, is once you find it, you perfect it. and you leave it alone, and then you can test out and play with other things. All right. So I hope you enjoyed the 5 biggest mistakes that aspiring and new entrepreneurs make and what you can do about it. And if you want to know the business that I started 10 years ago, where I went from bankrupt to multiple 6 figures a year, you can find all about it at my free training, where I teach you how to start that business, how to scale it. How did I get it to multiple 6 figures a year? And I actually tell you exactly what I did. I don't generalize it. I literally give you the full play. And then how did I sustain it, Tiff? How in the world have you kept that going? And in a world where entrepreneurs don't make it 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, and they definitely don't make it 10, how have you sustained your business? I tell you exactly how I did that as well, and how you can too, all for free. All you got to do is go to tiffany'smasterclass.com, and I'll tell you all about it. And if you've gotten to the end of this video, you better subscribe if you haven't already, because I mean, we just gonna keep coming with more things and more value and helping you as aspiring and new entrepreneurs. And I need you to hit the like button, and then whatever your favorite part was, leave me a comment. I read every comment. I respond to every comment. Leave me a comment below so I can hit you back. And I love you all. See you in the next video.